Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Talk Cocky with me. Talk Cocky with Me is proudly sponsored by McCraw Media. McCraw Media is owned and operated by fellow Gamecock Sydney McCraw. Sydney has been a Gamecock fan since birth and grew up going to USC football games. She has a BSBA in marketing from High Point University and is at the forefront of social media marketing. Sydney has been working in the marketing industry for the past 4 years and decided to start her own agency. McCraw Media uses analytics to study your target market and industry and builds a personalized marketing plan to grow your business or brand faster than the competition. McCraw Media has 4 different plans of service. They provide strategic, tactical, operational, and a flex plan that allows them to be flexible for all. Contact McCraw Media today to see how they can help grow your business at mccrawmedia@gmail.com. That's MCCRAW media@gmail.com. or 803-517-2441. Mention Talk Cocky with me and get a free market breakdown included in your initial consultation. So, yep, we got Missouri. That's the game that, we got into the top 25 the week before and then just looked like trash that game. So they are losing their top 2 receivers, 2 O-line, 3 D-line, and a DB. Last year just our defense completely broke down that game. I mean, we couldn't tackle anything. Offensive line couldn't block anything.
It was so ugly.
We couldn't get the ball to any playmaker at all.
Yeah,
it just pathetic.
It was a terrible. It was like Florida. I mean, we couldn't do anything on either side of the ball. Yes. So on here, I'm going W because, like we said, this is if we're having a circled game. Yes. This is our circled game, and like you just said, Tristan, I've said it before. If we're taking that next step, if we're going to be the team of we're battling second and third in the East, maybe having a chance to jump, you have to beat Missouri.
Yep, you have to win the game.
You have to beat Missouri. You have to beat Kentucky.
Yes.
Vandy should just be assumed, but you have to beat those teams. If you go into a Florida, Tennessee, maybe drop one, close battle, that could be excused. Missouri, Kentucky, you got to beat. If you're going to be that next tier, have to beat those teams. Tristan, hit it up.
Like I said, we have to win this game. If we don't win this game, it's going to feel just like last season, to be honest with you.
Yep.
Is it? And again, it's at Missouri, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be the setup for the next one. This is at Missouri. Then we go at A&M the very next week, which is going to be
going to be tough. But again, we got to do it, man.
Yeah, you have to win this one.
Let's do. And when you got a good quarterback, you can do things like that. But let's go 35-28. Good guys.
Chucky?
This is redeemable, man. We got to go in, we got to make plays, we got to, tackle. And this is a redeeming game, and I think the Gamecocks come out on top, and I think it's going to be and honestly, I don't think it's going to be close because I think when they watch the tape from last year, I think they're going to take a little pride.
Kind of like Tennessee.
Yeah, they're going to take some pride, and they're going to be like, have that gumption to stand up. Is like, this ain't happening.
And keep the pedal down.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think too with this staff that we have, they at least don't put off the feeling of complacency.
Right.
So if we're, I think any of us have as worst case 2 losses at this point. If we're at that place, we're more than likely a top 25 team still. We were saying a while ago. So we're moving through either way at a position to have a really good season. And I think they're going to say, hey, we can't look past this one. We've got to go in and we've got to do business. Joey, how you feeling on it?
So I have this as one of my circles again, just because like swing games, because until we beat them, my heart is like, dude, it's been every year for the last 5 years, we've been better than them.
It's annoying.
No doubt.
Just like Kentucky.
And so this year, I've got us 23-21. It's going to be a close game. We're going to have to battle it out. We're going to have to fight for it. But like we said, I mean, it's something we have to finish.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we get it done, but it's going to be a grind.
Yeah. And I really, if we're honest with ourselves, as far as the conference standing, and Tennessee and Florida, I realize the last decade or so, they haven't been what they historically were, but they have that namesake. Yeah. And I feel like us, Kentucky and Missouri, we're all kind of in that same
we're grouped together
tier, whether rightfully or not. We've had higher success more recently. Well, I guess Missouri won a couple of the East.
I was going to say Missouri.
Hey, they started hot and then they dropped, but they still beat us every year. So
right.
We just
but they're never better than us. In my opinion,
we just don't play them well. We do not play them well.
But it sucks. I have a friend that goes to Mizzou, and he really always makes fun of us. He's like, "Yeah, you might be better overall, but we will beat you." And I'm like, "Yeah, until we beat you, you're right."
Yeah, probably. A&M, they're returning a ton. That doesn't say much because we've been last year.
Though.
Joey, I'll let you start this one off since you just finished that one. What you got for A&M? And like I said, again, I think the biggest storyline for this game is going to be that travel. If there's an excuse on this one, whoever did this planning did not do us a favor.
No.
Can only do so much with scheduling, though.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm sure absolutely nobody thought about logistics for it. But Joey, what are you doing for A&M?
I think, like I said, we battle out the last one. I think it takes a toll. I mean, it's going to be tough to go that whole stretch that we've done. I think we do lose. What I do? 24-17. I think we keep it close, but I think we end up losing. Another place that's tough to win. I think we take a loss there.
Yeah, and that I do want to go to College Station one day. That'd be.
I couldn't handle it. I can't handle it.
It would be. Well, and see, I think I'm old enough now to where I could go into a hostile environment and not get into a fight.
Yes,
I'm not.
Yes.
Well, see, my thing is, I'm not too old to not make bad decisions, but I'm too old to get an ass whooping. So I know I'd be outnumbered, so I'm going to be like, you know what? Just here, guys.
Just shut up and just walk.
Have a great game.
It's a tough kill, man.
Have a great game.
Yeah.
What you got, Tristin? What do you see for A&M?
Joey's got some good points on there. If it wasn't for a weather, but I really want to know how Jimbo and Petrino is going to mix, because if they don't mix well, it could be a terrible season. It could be worse than last year.
That's true. That is very true.
They may have to fire
egos will.
Yeah. They may have to fire Petrino after 3 games and bring somebody else in there, or revert back to what they did last year, which obviously didn't work. And then the locker room's going to be mayhem.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a lot going into that. But this year has got to be the year if we want to do it. So we've got to win this game. So let's go tight game. Let's go 28-24 Carolina.
Good guys. What you got, Chuck?
So I think it's gonna be a tight game. and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to come down to special teams. I think this is the game that Limbo's crew et al. Is going to they're going to like whether we get a kickoff return or a punt return or a punt block. I think this is the game where his guys are going to make sure that they know this is a three. You have offense, defense, and special teams. And I think it's a special teams game, but I think we win. I think we win by 3.
Hey, that was the formula last year. It worked pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
and we haven't
Xavier
really
ran out of shoes, man.
And we haven't really mentioned that for any of the other games because, and I think that's a lot of the reason all these experts kind of discredit special teams so much is because you can't plan for it or scheme for it.
You can't predict it.
So, I mean, maybe they'll run in a touchdown if you have a Devin Hester or Debo Samuel or somebody running back there. You're like, okay, their return game is going to be
Harbor.
Yeah, or I would be insanely surprised if he's a return guy.
But if he could.
Yeah. He's extremely fast straight ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think he's 6'6", 240. I don't think that's going to be the most agile guy on the field.
Maybe. I haven't seen him do it, so I don't know.
That's true. I mean, he played D-line. He had to get around the offensive lineman. So,
but I know they're not going to put him on there. So because he's so valuable. They're not going to do anything to risk him getting hurt. So
he's 6'5", 240.
Yeah.
I feel like he could take a hit and also can jump over people too.
I can tell you, he made me look tiny.
Did you meet him?
Yeah. Yeah, we did the Gamecock Eats event at 365 Grilling and Seafood with Marquis Anderson's parents on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the day before he sprung it on me, he goes, "Oh, Marquis said he's going to ride up and bring some players with him." I was like, "All right, cool."
Shoot.
So then we got there, and he grabbed his phone. He goes, "Oh, so he said that Tree, Trovon, Pup, and Nick's coming." I went, "Wait. What?"
That's awesome.
All right, cool.
Was there any food left?
Not much. Not much, because it was good. Hey, if y'all ever in Spartanburg, check them out.
I was gonna go there the other day when we were going through, but we ended up finding some other crackpot place. But we won't go into that.
Yeah, you weren't thrilled with their barbecue. But yeah, so I'm taking the W here because I'm with Joey. It's one of my little bit more toss-ups.
Gotta be, yeah.
And I think it's a more toss-up for me for the travel. I mean, you got to think they're going. I saw a stat. I don't remember what it was, but it was just talking about how far the distance is. I know,
and also we never beat them before last year either. So
yeah,
right,
that's a good point too. But
these guys know that
these guys playing, they don't know that. They're like, hey, Spencer Rattler's 1-0. Juice Wells is 1-0.
Hey, keep that mindset.
For them, they've never lost to them.
Yeah.
So they're telling the locker room, hey guys, we ain't never lost these dudes. We ain't going to. I think
the Rattlers never lost to Clemson.
Yeah.
I hate that because he don't hate them. He don't hate them like we do. He don't know that feeling of getting beat by them. I hope he don't get to feel it now.
He's played in Death Valley.
I think he knows.
No, take that back. He's going to know.
He's played in Memorial Stadium and played in Death Valley.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
So he's going to. I'm sure that welcoming was not very polite. Is what I was trying to say. I feel like the next 2 weeks, Jacksonville State and Vandy. Do we agree? All W's.
Yes.
Yeah, better be.
The one thing I love about the Jacksonville State game, it is the only two teams in college football. It's Gamecocks against Gamecocks.
I cannot tell you how much I want to go to that game just for historical purposes. Like,
right,
it's just going to be so fun, and I also want to watch it to hear the announcers go. And the game, these Gamecocks,
exactly.
Hey, Joey, we got the real Carolina game and the real Gamecock game.
Yep. And
the tailgate for that, like literally any Jacksonville State fans, it's like, y'all come hang out. It is
going to be a madhouse. That is going to be the greatest tailgate ever.
Man, that is the tailgate I hate on this.
Do they say go Cox too?
I bet they do.
I would
They
assume.
will after this week.
The only thing that would make this game better is if at halftime we did a notice, bring them out on the field, the high school football team from Cocke County, Tennessee, home of the Fighting Cocks. That is the only thing that would make this game better.
Hey, there's isn't it Sumter Gamecocks too?
Yes.
And also, I think Screven County, which is right across the river from where I'm at, they're Gamecocks. That's in Georgia.
Bring them on.
I did not. Yeah, everybody. I'm about to say something terrible. I'm about to say something
There's
terrible.
about to be a cockfight right there, boys.
All the cocks all the time. All the cocks. Bring all the cocks into this party.
Way too many cocks in one place.
Yep. All right, Joey, what are you going with score on it?
For the Jacksonville State?
Yeah, the cock out. Rock out with your cock out.
I got 49-13.
49-13. What are you doing, Tristan?
I'm gonna go 56
Ooh.
to 10.
All right, and then Vandy. Where are you going, Tristan?
Vandy's gonna be a little bit closer. Let's do 35-21.
Joey?
I was thinking the same, but no, 35-14.
All right.
Better. I like that.
And that's what's funny. Like, Vandy's kind of one of those that didn't one of their guys posted something that they were going to wax us this year. So I'm going,
I'm not going to lie, though. Their quarterback scares me a little bit. He's good.
As long as he's not a running quarterback, we'll be fine.
He is.
Well, as long as he doesn't run it 100 times a game, we'll be fine.
Oh,
like Kentucky did.
Yeah, if we make them throw, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. A lot of times we can't tackle the guys, and they don't have to throw.
Joey, wasn't somebody in the chat that said we
Kentucky.
haven't lost to Vandy since before Obama was elected?
Yeah, someone said, something like that.
Let's keep it.
Which is funny
please.
I still like in my memory, it feels so recent, but I like when we've lost them last time. That's so ingrained. It feels like last year every year.
It 100% does.
Yeah.
It 100% does.
So when someone said it's been like 8 or like 10 years, whatever, I was like, really? It feels like last year.
Yeah.
Because I remember going and watching Jake Cutler play.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it was. I think they said that Obama had just gotten elected, but hadn't been in office
2008.
yet. Yeah, that's how long it's been since they. But yeah,
but it feels like yesterday because that fucking game was terrible.
Nah, nothing feels like yesterday.
Wasn't it like 24, 27, something like that?
It was
Kentucky. 2010 Kentucky will never be.
I was at a Dick's Sporting Goods checking out whenever that score came across.
I was in Charleston, and at the time, I did not have a beard. I didn't shave except on game days because when I played baseball, we had to shave on game days. So as a fan, I continued to shave on game days. It was the very first time ever me and my wife went out of town as when we were dating, and we'd went somewhere, and I told her, I said, I don't care. We can do whatever you want to as long as we get back to the hotel in time for me to shave, and, we'll be fine. So we get back to the hotel, kind of pinched on time, and we're in the car leaving. She goes, oh, you didn't shave? I was like, yeah, it's fine. We just beat Alabama last week, and it's Kentucky.
Yeah, how'd that work?
So I proceeded to get absolutely wasted that night and made a fool of myself. Luckily, I didn't make a fool of myself to her. Just literally everybody in the downtown Charleston area knew that I was there. But speaking of Kentucky, we are on the road to Kentucky. I'm sure there will be a certain set of sunglasses that will take that trip. I don't think that game will ever not get played. Will Levis gone, Rodriguez is gone, 2 offensive linemen, a D lineman, 3 linebackers, and 3 secondary. So they are replacing a ton to that defense that was good, but not killer. But
it's all about their offense.
This is Kentucky is. We're going to try to score you. I picture. I'll go ahead and start this one off. I picture Kentucky for Beamer as the Maryland on the recruiting trail for Beamer, and I don't think that game is ever not going to be special for him.
I want that petty, because he was around Spurrier, and Spurrier might be the pettiest mofo I have ever seen in my life. He kept receipts from from when he was in Johnson County, back in Tennessee. that's my guy. That's what I want.
Yep.
He's going to like remind what's his name about culture. You know,
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think if we're being fair, I really don't think Stoops meant to say it and have it come out the way that he did. I think he
he
got
Oh,
laid.
he
I don't know
probably
about
did
that,
it.
man.
I think he
I think
got
he
laid
did, but
back
I
in that
don't think.
conversation and then just kind of said it and was like,
He was
crap.
thinking it.
Oh,
I
he
think
was
he meant
definitely
it.
thinking it.
I think he
Yeah.
meant it, but I don't think he thought it was going to blow up. I think
Yeah,
he like said it, and afterwards he was like, "Oh no, this is what's
yeah.
going to happen."
I don't
Yeah. I
I
think
don't
he
think
meant
he
it. He
meant it
might
as
not.
the dig that it turned out to be, and that
Well, it was.
all of us took it as like, oh, well, here it comes.
That's
Uh,
right. And then my man Tonka just set the tone first play of the ball game.
so what you got,
Yeah.
Chuck?
I really think this is going to be an extension of last year, and I think the defense sets the tone from the start. Whether we get a fumble on Tonka gets the fumble on the first play or not, don't know. But I think the defense sets the tone, and we come away with we were 7 to 14 points.
Yeah, and I agree on that. And similar to what we were talking about earlier, Missouri, Kentucky, us, feelings wise, we're kind of right there. I think Kentucky's on the downward trend now. Uh,
Yes.
I think they were able to benefit Tennessee, Georgia. Us were kind of down at the same time. They were coming up. He was able to get some guys in there. I don't think they've been able to recruit the last 2 years the way that they were before. So I think they're going to be falling down. And again, it's kind of one of those with Mississippi State earlier as a fan and looking at it as fans for Kentucky, you're like, we've been there too. We've been there. We know what you're going through. We know that it's a struggle to get there. Uh, Joey, what you got on this one?
I think Kentucky has this game kind of circled because they want that payback. Even though it was really them that started it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think our offenses are clicking. I think we're getting to the end of the season. We're clicking. It's at home. I think 28-7. We get a good win.
Yep. Give me 1 second. I'm actually trying to look something up here. You said 21-7?
28-7.
28-7.
I would love that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So what are
I'll
you
go
doing
ahead
then,
and
Tristan?
start. So when I think of Kentucky, yeah, they were going up, and then you know how stocks take that little dip,
Hold on.
then they
Pause
go
for
back
half a
up
second.
again.
Pause for half a
What's that?
second. So
Okay.
I am a dummy. I actually put
Okay.
on the list that this one was at Kentucky. And also
That's
confused
home.
myself earlier when I said something about they're going to Clemson. Yeah, for some reason I typed in away on both those. Yeah, this is at home because our last four,
Last
our
four,
last
yeah.
4 games are at home. So
Okay.
Kentucky's
Which
coming to our house.
I want to
And
jump on
we're
that
going to throw a
later.
dance party there.
I'll say at the end of the pod, I want to talk about how we have the last 4 games.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, oh shoot, what have I done to my spreadsheet? Go ahead. Oh, there we go. We good.
All right. So you know how when stocks take that little dip and then they go back up
Tristan,
again?
I told you we have no structure here. We just wing it, boss.
Neither do I. That's my life in a nutshell. So I think last year was a Kentucky dip in the down. And I think they're about to go back up. But here's what I think is going to happen. Because they brought the new guy in, I can't think of his name, the new OC that came from the Rams that was there previously.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mixture of him and Leary is going to do some good things this year. I don't think it's going to be enough because I don't think they have the weapons at the receiving position and at running back. But I think they're going to be a good team this year. And I think potentially the OC could take that job from Stoops. And then if that happens, I think we might be in trouble because he's more of a offensive guy and he's going to score points and he could start this new culture, kind of like Beamer did in Columbia, to where Kentucky's not this boring team to watch anymore. They're fireworks and they can do some things. That's kind of what I think could happen. But for this game, I think we're still the better team, and I think it's going to be not close, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout either. Let's go Let's go 32 Carolina, 21 Kentucky.
And what you said too made me think of something. So I think Stoops is almost loyal to a fault. I think he is trying to push Kentucky as more than just a basketball school. And I think when he made all those comments and everything, and basically everybody went, "Yeah, no, we're pretty much just a basketball school."
Yeah.
I think he
I think
wants
he's
to
getting
stay
stale.
there. Yeah, I think he wants to stay there, and I think he's happy with being there. But I think he is a much better coach than to stay at Kentucky with, and I just don't see Kentucky as a school being, for lack of a better term, all in on football.
Yeah.
Basketball is their money maker.
Right.
That's going to get their most focus. I just don't think that they'll ever put in the time and effort and money to football to get to where you would need to be in the SEC.
I'd agree with that.
And like I said, I think Stoops is a phenomenal coach. I think he made a very, very poor decision with some words that will ruin his career against South Carolina. But I think he's a hell of a coach.
But I think he's boring. I think his style of play is boring.
Well,
and I don't think it's going to attract that high elite level of player to get to that next level because nobody wants to just line up and run the football every play.
That's right.
Hey, Georgia and Alabama did it pretty good for a few years, and they get a lot of guys.
Yeah, that's Georgia and Alabama. They've already had the name.
Well, and that's the thing too. That's the thing too. When you have that established, you can bring in dudes and say, "Hey, we're going to come in here and we're going to pound it. We're going to throw it. We're going to sling it around and let you do your thing, but we're going to ground and pound it." But when you're trying to come up through the ranks, that is a very tough sell.
Yeah.
All right. Final one of the year.
Here we go.
If Klubnik or whatever the hell his name was would have played, that they would have
still lost.
That they would have done this and they would have done that. So the most famous player on any football team is the backup quarterback. I really think that that's a lot of the reason Milton's getting the hype that he is from Tennessee too. It's just that he's played enough to where people's kind of saying, okay, oh, he's got a killer arm, he's got this, he's got that. But we're going to have to find out, can he do it every single down, every single game the whole year? But anyway, so with Klubnik, he's the new quarterback in. They got all their running backs back. They are losing two of their top three wide receivers. I didn't realize Antonio Williams was actually their number one guy. He's probably not going to be their punt returner for this game. Let's see. We also are replacing two offensive linemen, two D linemen, three linebackers, and a DB. Now, Chuck, you had said with Georgia, losing those guys isn't that huge. Next man up's usually just as good as the first one.
I don't think this is the case.
I agree.
Not as much.
I think with Clemson,
because I think with Clemson is that they say, well, we recruit and we got tough, blah 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 blah.
We're too deep. We're too deep.
But when I will take this to my grave and I will go up against anybody. The ACC is not the SEC.
All cupcake conference, baby.
Right. So when you hear about all these guys are tough, I was like, y'all ain't tough. I was like, when you play, because I remember a time when we were in the East and we were playing not just in the toughest conference in the country, but the toughest division in the country. Because this is when Spurrier was hanging 60 on everybody. Tennessee was winning. It's like you win 7 ball games or 8 ball games, great, but you're still 4th in the conference.
Yep.
And when you play in Virginia, they're like, oh, Boston College is tough. I was like, they're not tough. And it's like, well, we run the gauntlet. Everybody runs the gauntlet in the SEC. And I look at Clemson and, honestly, I just think they're a bunch of glorified pansies. I don't
Well,
care. I don't care if Herb Street's kids go there. I don't care.
Well,
Like
that just
they
solidifies it.
they say that well, DJ Ukulele shouldn't have played. I was like, well, at the beginning of the season, DJ Ukulele was you guys
Yeah,
were
we're
Oh,
saying
he
saying
he
was
was
the
going to win a
commercial
was a
guy.
Heisman.
high.
He's going to win a Heisman.
Right. So I mean,
Well,
either he is or he isn't.
Well, and that was the thing too.
Not.
Like Clemson was able to reach the success that they had because Dabo was able to go to a top recruit in the nation. And if this wasn't his sales pitch, then he's an idiot. But he was able to go to a top recruit in the nation and say, hey, come to Clemson. You're going to win the conference every year.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get into the playoffs, all but guaranteed every year. But on top of that is you're going to come here. You're going to put up some crazy numbers. You're only going to play 3 quarters a game. So you're going to stay healthy. You're going to come in, get 4 conference championship rings, play in the playoffs, stay healthy, and then your stock for the NFL is going to be through the roof because you have all these huge sales.
Right. And I've said this before, and I think I've told you, Brandon, that I think the playing field, especially with Clemson, where they're concerned, is starting to be leveled because new spring money don't go as far as it used to.
Yep.
I said Chuck, it, I will say it again, and if they don't like it,
well, and I think I also think that's why he doesn't like the NIL
because that's 100% why
he does. Oh
yeah. So Chuck, what do you got on this one? What are we doing?
It's
in our house.
It's in our house. I think coming home, I think
taking over.
I think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be like last year. I think it's going to come down to we're going to win by 3.
Who wants it more?
Yep.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. Who has the biggest heart?
Tristin, what are you going with?
Oh man. Again, hey, if we're going to be a good team, we got to win these games.
That's right.
So yeah, it's going to be close. But if you look at it like this, who's got the better quarterback? We do. They've got the better running back. I think we have the better receiving core. They probably have the better offensive line. They probably have the better defense. So I'm going to go with the quarterback play. I think Rattler, he's just going to make the plays that he needs to make. And we're going to get this streak going. Let's go 38-35. Carolina.
38-35. All right, Joey, talk to me.
All right, so another swing game because, any rivalry game, you can go either way. We're at home. I think it's like all of you have said, it's going to be close again. I've got that 31 again, but this time 31-27.
Oh,
okay. We got a block field goal in there?
Limbo ball.
God, I hope not. Man, y'all trying to give me heart attacks. I'm getting too old for that. All right, so, I'm going with the W because I hate them. I'm in Greenville. I ain't never gonna say.
So I've got, all the talk about them going to the Big Ten.
They ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
No, but I want them to.
I wish they would.
I think if they go to the Big Ten, they're gonna drop off.
But that's why they won't go.
That's right.
Yeah, I know that.
They're a big fish in a little pond.
Yeah. Clemson would be stupid to try.
They
to
would
change
drop off so fast.
That's why all this talk is just so ignorant. They would be stupid.
They'd be stupid to go to the SEC because they would have to play 3 real games. They would have to play, any given year with the new way it's set up. Georgia, LSU, Alabama. The chances of them not making the playoffs goes way down.
ACC is a cakewalk for them.
Right.
Yep. They've got to show up for 1 or 2 games a year.
Maybe.
That's right.
If they lose one of those, they're done. Well,
hey, calling it now. Florida State beats Clemson this year.
I like where your head's at. How many times was our game with Clemson their toughest game of the year?
Yeah, always. Well, and I think that they're, like I mentioned a while ago with my feelings of Kentucky, I think Clemson's to the point too where, like we were just saying too with New Spring and NIL and everything. I think they're getting to the point to where they're starting their decline, and players are wanting to have a little bit of that competition. And also, Shane Beamer is one hell of a recruiter. So I think a lot of people are going to get that. But so I've actually heard from people too that that have gone 2 visits at Clemson that Dabo's new sales pitch is I. It ain't a we, it ain't a us. It's I did this, I built this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to keep this here. And I think with a lot of people, and especially if you go to Clemson and you have a coach go, I did all this, I'm going to do all this. And then you come down to Columbia and you have Shane Beamer that goes, hey, we're a family. We're going to take care of your son. We're going,
It's like
when he walks in the door, everybody's going to treat him like family.
Right. It's like in business. You like, if
Crap,
like
I may have to delete all this just in case anybody from Clemson sees this. They're going to be like, yo, dude, stop being a prick.
It's like in business, it's like the I mentality is, it's all me,
It's
me,
old.
me.
It's old. Nobody wants that anymore.
Right. It's like my quintessential my quintessential point to that, and this is Your Honor, the prosecution rests, is when that lame jackass runs down the hill by himself.
He leads the way. He is the face of it all.
By a mile. Yes. By a mile.
Yes.
He just looks dumb.
That tells me that it's all about me. And they can say, well, no, that's just like, no, he is all about himself.
Yep. He plays a character. And that's what chapped me too when everybody was like, oh, Shane Beamer is South Carolina's Dabo. And I'm like, no, Dabo is a character.
Don't like
Dabo
that.
Is a character. Shane Beamer is a man, and that's how he is.
Well, you know whose pads Dabo used to carry when he was at Alabama, right?
Everybody's.
He used to carry Lorenzo Ward's pads when they were at Alabama together.
Oh, did he really?
Yes.
That's funny. That's fine. So we got Joey with a final total of 9-3 for 2003.
Oh man,
is that right?
I think it was 10-2. Is it not?
I got L's at Georgia
and A&M.
And then I had an L at Tennessee. You said it was your toss up.
Yeah. You're right. Yep, you're right.
And let's be honest, looking at it right
it's
now,
probably the most
9-3 season, probably a 9-3 season with those losses, with those scores. Again, it physically pains me so much to ever say that a loss is acceptable. That's just not in me. If we finished 9-3, and if those were the scores to those teams, I don't know that I could be furious with the season.
Hey, so if that happens, I guarantee because it's what Gamecock Nation does. We would all be like 28-24. We lost to Tennessee. We were 9-3. Wait till next year. We're about to be 11-1.
You're damn right. You're damn
National.
Right.
We're going to be Super Bowl champions next year. The NFL is going to hire us. We're going to be so great.
We're about to take it to the next level next year.
Yep. And then we got Tristin and Chuck going 11-1 with the only drop to Georgia. I'm going undefeated because that's what I do.
That's
and they were gonna beat Bama in the championship.
Damn straight.
Hey, we're going 16-0. First year of the expanded playoff, taking it all.
All right,
hey, but in all seriousness, though,
I am serious.
I'm saying if this ain't the year, when is it going to be? Because we don't have talent like this every year, especially at the quarterback position.
That's right.
We got to quit making excuses.
The year is 2027. 2020. No, 2020. Yeah, 2027. I'm calling.
I'm sick of waiting.
2027.
I'm sick of waiting. We got to do it,
bruh. I'm going to be as old as Chuck is in 2027.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't.
I'm catching you.
So I got a story to tell y'all guys.
Let's
So,
go.
so I was in New Orleans for work the last 3.5 weeks, and so one Saturday I go downtown to just kick it around because as I was off work, and so there was a Louis Vuitton store downtown. I was like, well, I'm gonna go in just to look and see how these people are wasting all their money. And of
That the one
course
that
I
got
got
robbed?
no, not this time. So of course I'm wearing my Gamecock polo, right? I got my Gamecock on, walking in, and this guy goes, "Hey man, you got some on your shirt?" I said, "Yeah, I
Oh,
bought
no.
it." You know, he give me a
You
hard
said
time.
what?
He goes, "You got something on your shirt?" I said, "Yeah, I bought it like that." And he goes, "Well, my friend went to LSU," and I kind of looked over his shoulder. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah. I saw you post.
"I know you." It was Leonard Fournette.
Oh, I knew you was going to say that.
I saw
Oh,
your
I saw.
post.
Leonard
Yeah, I saw
Fournette.
you post
So we
that
sit there and talk.
selfie.
He goes, "Hey, wait a minute." He goes, "I'm gonna call the biggest Gamecock I know." So we FaceTime with Debo for about a minute.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Dude, I was like, I walked out of that place, my smile was like this.
Yeah.
That's
Did
awesome.
he pay?
I was
Did he pay for
goofy
your
as
stuff?
hell. What's that?
Did he pay for your stuff?
No, I didn't buy anything, man. I don't roll
Well,
like that.
so before Debo's last season, and get this, I do not go to the mall. But before his final season, I went to the Haywood Mall, and I think I had to get some watch batteries changed, and that's literally the only time I go to the mall. And then I will take my one trip a year at Christmas to walk in and go, oh yeah, this is why I
That's
don't
why I
come
don't
here.
go.
But I'd actually just left the gym and was wearing like sweatpants and just a raggedy old t-shirt and everything. And I'm sitting there walking by, and here comes Debo, and like it's one of his cousins or somebody, but he was just picking up a necklace that he had custom made, and it said like one on it or something. And but I was like, Debo, what's up? Well, and he was wearing Nike shorts and Nike shoes. I don't know, I probably should. He's a former player, I can say this. And but he was wearing a Carolina shirt, Under Armour shirt, and everything. I was like, come on now, you're not supposed to be wearing Nike, and you're supposed to have all Under Armour. He was like, man, I hate Under Armour. I was like, I mean, he
Hey,
just
so
put
we
it on
all do.
blast, and I was like, whoops, okay, sorry. Yeah, so I think we all have the idea of a pretty good season for 2023. I agree with y'all. I think we've got the pieces. Uh, you know, I'll never go into a game not thinking we have a chance to win. That's just me. It's
Right.
you don't go to play if you're not going to play to win. But there are some tough games and tough situations on this schedule. I truly believe that we have the talent to play and compete with everybody on our schedule.
I agree with that 100%.
Do we have the full depth if it turns into an absolute slugfest with probably just one team on this schedule? I don't know. Probably
If we
not.
do, though.
Oh, if we do, and again, if you make
If
that
we
game
do.
competitive, and if you make that game a real slugfest, that sends a message.
Oh, wait,
It
100%.
does.
Yeah.
That sends a message. And again, I don't do glorified losses and stuff, moral victories and all that crap. But I think there can be things
But you
taken
do have
away
to
from a
build on
competitive game. Yeah, you've got to build on something.
Right.
I'm with you, Tristin. If not this year, we've never had a quarterback talent like this. We've never
Even though we
had.
do have sellers coming in.
Oh yeah, 2027, baby.
Yeah, we are building that
Our
depth.
quarterback room is absolutely loaded.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are building that depth to get there. Absolutely. And I think Shane Beamer has done it the right way too. With we're recruiting high school talent that can fill that depth. But he said in that opening interview, we're here to win now.
Yeah.
And he's attacked that
Here
transfer
to win
portal.
championships.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
he said, everybody's like, oh, are you going to win in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? He goes, no, we're playing to win now.
Now, that's
And
right.
he's hit the transfer portal to win now.
Right.
So, you hold him to his own accountability. We're here to win now. I I got us winning them all right now because
That's right.
we're going to, and we're going wild. But fellas, Joey, Tristan, Chuck, as always, y'all appreciate you coming.
Appreciate it.
Chuck, we got to
It's
let
been
the
fun, man.
we got to let the newbies do it. So all of the episodes get wrapped up with our best Debo impression with the Go Gamecocks. So Joey and Tristan on 3, y'all got to hit the Go Gamecocks. 1,
All right.
2, 3.
Go
Go
Gamecocks.
Gamecocks.
There we go.